if you're a run and gun player, this is the best run and gun weapon in the game. This is not up for a debate. We're not going to argue over this. You can have however many run and gun players come into my comment section and tell me that I'm wrong. This is the best run and gun weapon in the game. If you know how to use this, you will drop hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kills in run and gun like it's absolutely nothing. Is it easy to do? No. But if you learn how to do it correctly, it is the best weapon in the game. You can literally make this thing on auto aim, like lock-on rifle, and it's far more accurate than any assault rifle in the game.
Yo, what's up guys? So the Marksman rifle has been gaining a lot of traction lately in the community, so I thought of making a video on the ins and outs of this weapon for RNG and FTF. I have a lot of kills with the weapon. I've been using this weapon since 2020, since the time Boyka told me about it, and I had a lot of fun with it when I used it on PS4, and I even use it on PC occasionally, since I play on PC now. So I have enough experience with the weapon to help you guys out. So I split this video in different parts. So the first part is how to get auto aim in Marksman, and then I will also talk about the nuances in this weapon in comparison to the regular rifles, and then I will talk about the limitations and when is the Marksman like extremely OP, and how do you get good with the weapon, and then how to practice it. So yeah, let's get on to the first part. So there are some attachments which are needed on the Marksman Mark II to like have it auto aim on RNG. Fonshine actually made a video about this, so I'll link it in the description. But this is the screenshot. This is the screenshot of the required attachments. The main one is using the holographic scope, which allows you to like use auto aim in the Marksman for RNG. I would also recommend the extended grip, as it will allow you to carry more bullets per mag. The suppressor is optional, although I personally always use it in every weapon, not only Marksman, in RNG. It helps you to like hide your blip when you shoot. So yeah, that's it on part 1. Let's move on to the next one. Now, although it's called as a rifle, the Marksman is way different from what a regular rifle offers. For instance, it's semi-automatic. You can't just hold R2 like you do to shoot in rifles. And the Marksman bullets are penetrable, which means you can get 2 or more kills in a single bullet if you're lucky. And the Marksman has insanely high recoil, so I would highly recommend to like not spam it when you're trying to kill someone. Just try to get a lock on, and all you have to do is just get one headshot, so you better take your time when you're shooting a shot. Yeah, these are the differences, and then let's move on to the limitations. Now this is the main part that people seem to miss when they say that the Marksman rifle is OP. There are many drawbacks of this gun, which I'll talk about one by one. Now the first one is the relock delay. Now when you roll with the Marksman, the weapon would only allow you to free roll, which means that you cannot get a lock on someone unless you're completely out of your roll. Now this makes it extremely challenging to counter roll, because you can get easily relocked or sidestep when you roll, even before you can get a chance to take your shot. And then the second main disadvantage of this weapon is limited range. Now although the Marksman being a sniper would suggest that it would have a higher lock-on range compared to the rifles, but that is not the case. It has a lower lock-on range than any rifle, so using only Marksman in very big rifle maps is nearly impossible. So the best range to use the Marksman would be in medium range. Anything less than the Marksman would become too slow. For example, if you use this Marksman WRNG like in the middle, it'll be way slower if you're like in closer range, because in that case the rifles, like anything like special carbine or the advanced rifle, they would be faster than the Marksman. And if the range is too far, you just won't get a lock on. So it's the Marksman is useful in like very specific situations. Now let's move on to the next part. Now having said all this, there are certain maps where the Marksman is broken and low-key unfair. The most obvious one, as you all might have guessed from the clips on the screen, is Gangbang, especially when it is above 3v3. Now since this rifle is one-shot headshot, this makes switch kills extremely fast, so even before your opponent notices that you've spawned, you could have already gotten a 3 switch. That's how fast the Marksman is. Now the spawns are just in the lock-on range in FTF, so you can just flick on targets and you get easy 3-4 switches when you spawn. But why would it not be broken on 3v3s or less? This is because you can get targeted. Now, if it's like a small map, it's more control, and players would observe that you're using the marksman, so they would try rolling first, so that you cannot counter roll them. And in that case, you would be better off just sidestepping and one-shotting instead of switching them. So that will like make it slower and a bit more even with the regular rifle players. Now, one more thing I actually forgot to say, that if you want to like properly use this weapon in RNGs, the best way to do it is to like use rifles to like in situations where it's either way too close or it's way too far away for the marksman range. So you use rifles in very short or very long range, and anywhere in the middle you can just use the marksman. This is the best way to like effectively use the marksman in every situation. Now let's move on to the last part of the video. Now for practicing, if this was rifles, I would say that you could practice on Fontray's map with the NPCs, and you could technically do it with the marksman as well by having it on own plus pickups. But if you're gonna get a friend and practice on NPCs, why not just 1v1? Because marksman in RNG is actually not about switch killing, it is more about movement and aim. So I would highly recommend versing an actual player to improve your aim and movement. Now there are certain things you must know how to do before you use this gun if you want to even do decent in an RNG TDM. Now the first one and the most important one I would say is pistol movement. Although it is not clear to see why movement is important from these clips, as all of these good players are just switching, you don't see a lot of sidestepping. Well, this is because most of these are just clips of FDF and switch maps. And moreover, these are just highlights of the TDM. But if you want to do good in a TDM, you just don't want highlights, you want consistency. And to get consistency, you need to have good movement. Now, why is that? Because you see, the marksman, although I said that the marksman has a relock delay, it's impossible to like not roll at all in a TDM, So you have to roll. Now, how do you like survive if you're rolling? Because it's almost impossible to like get a proper relock. You sidestep, and you learn how to sidestep unpredictably in different situations. So the most important thing when you're using marksman is special movement and being unpredictable with it, There are also other niche things I can explain, like knowing when to switch and when to one-shot sidestep. But instead of me explaining all this, it would be better off if you learn these things on your own by using the weapon instead. Yeah, so that's it on the video, guys. I hope you like the video and you've stayed till the end. I hope this helps. If you have any more questions, I'll have my Discord in the description. That's it for today, guys. Peace.